Hello and welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm Coach Eaton here with Coach Mans here today. Our first ever in-person Coach's Corner. I'm super excited to get this going. Super excited to have you here in Big Rapids. What does it feel like to be up here on Ferris State's campus?
It's one of the bigger campuses I've been on. Like I've been on like Michigan State, and obviously that was the biggest. But then I went to like a community college, and then Oakland University. And Oakland University, as you will see in December, is actually really crazy small.
Okay.
It's like 8 buildings. It's kind of like one section of campus here. So it's
Okay.
like one of those things where like I walk every day like a mile and a half to class, and like if I walked a mile and a half at Oakland, I could do circles around campus.
Okay.
So it's one of those things like this is a lot bigger than I was expecting and used to. So it's been nice. I've been walking around a lot, been losing a little bit of weight.
That's fair.
You know.
Have you been to the far side of campus yet, down by the ice arena?
Yeah. So when I first got here, Boov took me around and was like,
Okay.
"We're walking everywhere," and I'm just like, "Dude, I can't walk this far, man." It's like COVID, and I was working from home, and then like literally I was going to school and working from home. So like literally, the farthest I went was like from my computer chair, which was right next to my bed, which is right next to my bathroom, to the fridge and back.
Okay.
And like I would do like a quarter of a mile a month. And it's one of those things where like now I'm doing that like to get down the street to campus. It's just like this is awful. But no, it's been nice. I've really enjoyed my time here. Everyone's been super like happy and helpful and showing me around. And I think I'm finally done like meeting everybody, so I
Okay.
don't have to like go around every day because every day it's like, man, you're here. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. And I'm just like, I want to sleep, or like I just want to play League, or like I want to do like I don't know. I just kind of want to chill, and it's been nice. So I'm happy to meet everyone. I'm happy to be here. It's been fun doing in person stuff. I know I've been in the studio basically every game that we've had.
Yes.
Just talking to chat and keeping John busy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't have enough of that around here, so need extra.
True,
responsibility.
true. Yeah.
But kind of what I wanted to go over today was just kind of a look, mid-season update for a lot of our teams, see how things are going. Let's start off with your League of Legends team. How have you been feeling about the team? How's everything been going this year?
Surprisingly good. I didn't have a whole lot of like high expectations going into this year because we returned a lot of players from last year, with the exception of putting one player off role, and we had a new jungler this year, and that's the only difference we really had from previous years. Just turns out that's what we needed. Lem is just absolutely crazy, like in game and as a person. You just
Yeah.
kind of just really, really, really great. He's senior, which is unfortunate because I really wish I had him for a couple more years.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been fun. We were 4-0 in the placement tournament, and then we're like, this is so easy. And then we get into like our actual seeded bracket. We're just like, just kidding. We're not winning in 23 minutes every game anymore.
Yep.
But we're pretty good. We're 4-2 right now. Our two losses, one of their players was smurfing, and then the other one I was filling in.
Yeah.
So like we haven't actually as like a full 5-man lost yet, other than the Smurf game, which I don't really want to talk about. It's tournament organizers are fun.
Yes,
Um,
of course.
Based on leagues, and I'm not gonna throw too much shade, but there's a lot of really interesting rules.
Yes,
As we found out
interesting
last
is a good way
week,
to put it, yeah.
a 50-minute delay for FFs was a very interesting one. So, anyways, yeah, we're having a lot of fun. We haven't been practicing a ton because we have 3 seniors on our team, and they're just like, I need to finish school, and then I'm doing all the esports stuff, and I'm like, I can still practice. Like, I can come, like, be at practices. Just have to schedule something. But I mean, a couple of our players are working 2 jobs and going to school full time, which is like, we practice our competitive games.
Yep.
And like we have like individual players who practice together and stuff, which is good. I know Cheese and Jones have been duoing a bunch. And that's been really helpful because that was one of our weaker points is just bottom lane. I think you kind of saw it in the last game where like Cheese is like the main focal point, like last game with on MF. So that was really good to see, and I'm really happy with where we are right now. A little sad because I have 3 seniors. I got to do it all
Yeah.
over again. So when I first got here, I was like, all sophomores and freshmen, yay! And I was like, they're graduating now. No, but
The
yay,
improvement has
yay
been
for them.
insane, especially, it's been the same group of guys for quite a few years now. And
Yeah.
to see them where they started to the way they play now is a monumental difference. So,
I appreciate you saying that.
well, yes, I mean, you can't argue with it. Just like, oh, hey, they look like a team
Yes,
instead of
they're-
5 people playing
yes,
League of
they're
Legends.
playing
So,
well and they're winning. So yeah, results speak for themselves.
absolutely.
Yes.
So-
How has Overwatch been going? I know Overwatch 2 has been interesting.
Yes, I really enjoy Overwatch 2 as a game. A lot of my players have said the same thing. They're having a lot more fun with it. I've seen a lot more people play solo queue than they would before,
No.
especially MST3 Night, or Toby. He never played Overwatch 1. Even when I played on the team with him a couple of years ago, he would show up for scrims. He would play scrims with us. Heck yeah, no problem. gets to ranked, he's just like, I don't need to play ranked. He'd get Grandmaster every season and then just like never touch it again.
I hate that.
And so it's like, but he keeps consistently getting
Yeah.
back to Grandmaster. So like, I can't really argue with you.
Yeah.
But in this game, I've seen him play a bunch. He's been doing a bunch with a couple of alumni as well, doing tree queuing with that and getting pretty crazy with that. The team's been playing really well. They're 4-0 this season. They've been playing around Toby because Toby's just one of the best players on the team, and in the solo tank role where you can really put a carry there and do a lot of pressure with it. So the team's been really good at healing him up as well. So this is the best team we've had since our top 16 run a couple of years ago. The team's really itching to get going. We've got a lot of young guys on the team. We've got a couple of seniors. So we're graduating Toby this year, and we're graduating Blaze as well. I think Quarios might even be so. But Blaze and Quarios are both off-rolling. So Blaze has played every single role in the competitive match for the teams for an entire semester. So they've played an entire semester on support, an entire semester on tank, an entire semester now on DPS. So they played longer for that in some of the other roles, but DPS is their third best role, but I'm just like, hey, you're the best DPS we have. We have cracked out tanks. We've got cracked out supports. We need you to play. Yeah. We need your leadership and experience on the team, but it's got to fit in that DPS role. And I know they weren't super pumped about it, but they're excited to that. Once when you're out there, when you're winning, it's really hard to argue with the results. So the team's been looking together, looking to play a bunch together, and looking good over the season. So I'm excited to keep going 4-0. Starting off 4-0 is pretty awesome. We're playing Lawrence Tech in 2 weeks. We're trying to make that a LAN. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to happen, but we're the only 2 undefeated teams left at this point. So if we can be undefeated and then play in person, that would be such a super high experience. So that's why I've been communicating with their director, kind of trying to plan that undefeated showdown, which I think would be so fantastic for the students. But I know this week we've also got so transitioning a little bit. This week we've got Call of Duty playing together in person.
Yes.
The space isn't finished, so none of the other teams are playing in person, but the Call of Duty teams are bringing their computers to the space. There's like some desks in there that were left over and like some like regular, not even like office chairs, just like regular chairs.
Just class chairs.
Just classroom chairs. Yep. So they're putting that all up. We're setting that all up. One of the players plays on console, so I'm bringing my computer from home so the student can play. It's going to be an experience, though. They're really excited, too.
Yeah, I'm excited, too, because I'm going to be there recording a lot of it and doing pictures and stuff. So I'm excited, too. Not so excited that it's, like, 8 o'clock and it's, like, my entire, like, afternoon, evening kind of thing. But, like, I'm really excited. I really love in-person esports events.
Yes.
Like, when I was in Europe, I went to, like, 3 or 4. And, like, that experience is just completely unmatched ever. Like, 100%. Even the Eastern LAN was just so much fun because we were all there. And it's a really weird experience being able to turn left and see what your teammate sees and then also talk to them.
Yep.
And it's more of a team feeling that way. So that was I'm really excited to get an in-person space for that.
And that's why I'm so excited for the new building, which is fully on track, opening fall of 23. We're gonna have that space every time we play, right? We're gonna have that same exact experience, that feel. Everybody's gonna be playing together. I'm trying to organize practices there too. So I understand practices. You might want to be from home for it, but you're gonna have to practice sometimes in the space that we're gonna play in too. So give those students, it's hard to argue with someone and get mad at someone when they're sitting next to you because you can't just throw your headset off and walk away, which we don't have happen very often, but occasionally stuff comes up. But you get mad at somebody, it's like sports. Like, yeah, you get mad at somebody and you get mad at that guy, but you have to look at him in the face. Yeah. And so then it's just like, well, it's not going to let this just fester out.
Crazy story about that. Like one of the very first things I did when I was here, we did a full webcam introduce yourself to your teammates, and we recorded it so like no one could fight, but then everyone could see the other person on the other side of the screen, so they got that like human connection, so you didn't have to think that I'm just yelling at this person who I don't know. And that really helped. I know for them because they had told me that they had fought a lot during either practices or in game and stuff. So it being in person definitely helps with the conflict. It's really hard to break your keyboard in front of one of your friends.
Yes, exactly. And so the Call of Duty team going 4-1 on the season already. The one game that they lost was the first game of the season. Yeah. One of our best players was playing on a borrowed laptop as well. It was still installing the shaders during the game. Yeah. So it wasn't exactly the optimal game.
We're not making excuses or anything.
We're not making excuses.
It was against Lebanon Valley, who I hear is extremely good as well.
Yes.
So.
The team was and it went to map 5. Yeah. So we ended up dropping map 5. The team wants that one back.
Absolutely.
So they are fully confident that, hey, we win that if we play that again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, heck yeah, I like to hear that kind of stuff. So they're poised to make the playoffs. I'm like, all right, now's your chance to prove it. You make the playoffs, there's a chance we get paired up against them. Just win that one, and it doesn't matter, right? So I know the team It's very. I'm also kind of, I hate that when our teams lose, but also it's nice that when the team's kind of stomping and winning like crazy, it's easy to kind of take the foot off the gas, and just kind of be like, oh well, we're always just gonna win. Look,
Yeah.
we're destined, right? We're movie
Yeah.
characters, and it's like, no, this isn't. You still got to grind out every game, and so to catch that early loss or even a loss in the season, like I know your league team caught one, where you just get overconfident. It's like, oh, nice reality check. Like, hey. This isn't guaranteed. You have to put in the hours. You have to
Correct.
play the way you need to play.
Correct. I know. That's why we always scrim like really crazy hard opponents. Like the best team that will scrim us, we scrim them every time.
Yep.
Because like I want to lose. I don't want to get crushed, but I want to lose.
I'd much rather lose in scrims than win on match day.
Correct. And I know that was part of Call of Duty's problem because they were scrimming the gold team a bunch, and they're just all so much better. So they just roll them over like, yeah, we're the greatest. They're like, guys, let's play other 8 teams, please.
Yep.
And I know they were practicing a lot at the beginning of the season, and we're just like, calm down. We
Yes.
don't need 3 scrims a day, guys.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
relax.
We're not. Nobody's here's going pro. I love all you guys. It's not gonna happen. So what we're doing is giving you the opportunity to play and get better as a team, and we want you to be the best that you can be. But school also is important, right? That's why we're here. Go get your degree, graduate, go get paid a lot more than esports.
And then donate to the esports program.
Yes,
Please,
then
please,
come back.
Please.
We want more scholarships. You want to see your alumni program pop off?
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
the best way.
Yeah.
But talking about some of the other teams, Valorant already 3-2 on the season. That team's in one of the, I think that's in the highest skill division out of any of the teams we have. So even though the record isn't the best, they're playing against the toughest opponents out of all of our teams. That's one of our best as far as like individual ranks go. Teams here at Ferris. So that team is looking very good, poised to do very well at this year's Bandwidth Bowl. I'm willing to bet.
Don't say it.
We do really well.
Okay,
in that
thank you.
tournament. So, I was gonna say it.
I was like, please don't do that. Because this is going to get clipped. It's going to be played 100 times if we lose.
Hey, no, we don't lose. They're excited about that. I know they're fully prepped and ready to kind of roll on that. They're ready to get swinging.
They're also a really fun group. I've been able to talk to them a bunch and hang out with them, and they're a very fun group to be around.
Oh yeah.
So. Yes, it's they're all really young too. I think our oldest is a junior.
I think we have one junior.
Yeah.
No, one's a senior this year, but he is going into grad programs.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
But he doesn't know if he wants to play during his grad program. And I'm just like, please.
Yes,
we'll have the same 5-stack.
Yes,
He's like, I don't know if I have time. I'm like, we had a pharmacy student on my Overwatch team. He didn't have a ton of time, but he played. So I'm kind of going to pressure him into it. I know you're watching this, so play for us.
Yes. No promises, but please play.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm really happy watching their games. I know Valorant's one of the things I'm starting to get into because I was I knew a little bit about CS:GO from watching, so it was very entertaining, but it's just Valorant's just too much going on. I think the worst part is that the spectator client's so bad that you have to it's not auto spectated. So a lot of times you'll just randomly see people as they're dying rather than because people see that they're taking damage and then quickly switch to them and then they're dead already. So.
Yeah, spectating any non-auto spectating games is pretty tough. So Overwatch for me is easy because I know what's going to happen and I can set up for this combo's going to come, so I'll show the first part of the combo, switch to the second part of the combo.
Yeah.
But in Valorant, I'm like Valorant and Call of Duty and CS:GO. So CS:GO has an auto spectrum, but Valorant and Call of Duty, I'm just staring at the minimap and just going who's about to fight, and then just punching over to our team who's about to take the fight. So it's very the only time I know exactly what to do is if there's one person left in a 1v3 situation. You just go to the one person.
Yeah, and then
it's
do they live?
The action is going to happen around here, so either they die or they pop off. But if it goes back to if we're in a 1v3 and Ferris is up to 3, I'll go to that one person. But as soon as we get back to the 1v1, I'll switch back to the Ferris guy because we want to see our POV. So when we click on their heads, we go woo! We did it. We won.
Absolutely.
But some of the other teams, R6 also going 3-2. I know they've been looking pretty good this year. Zep out there absolutely fragging out. Morrow in this last game, though, actually pulled off. He was top frag in one of the matches. He used to be the top frag back in the day.
Yeah.
So we're excited to have this R6 team back. We didn't have R6 team for a year or two, but they're back. They're fully swinging. And so Morrow was on that original team. Was the entry frag, big put the team on my back type person, but it's cool to see him move to a more supportive role. There's another player who can come in. Morrow hasn't gotten worse. It's just we've got another player who's even higher and even there's one. There was a peak that he had in last week's match. Were you watching it all? He had an insane, just peak, just peak, because you can lean, quick lean, one tap, and just pre-fired as quick leaning and just the kid was standing there, and I was just like, oh, what was that? There's no way that's just Peaker's advantage to Nick Scene, and it was just like, if I was playing the other team, I'd have been like, hey, give me the Moss files, right? Like, that was crazy. But he does stuff like that so consistently, and actually fragging. The rest of that team, though, playing really well. I know Hacker got an ace this year, playing on an actual cutting board, so he forgot his mouse pad during that match.
I remember seeing the
because
picture.
He traveled,
yeah.
and so his first ace on the team was using an actual cutting board, like a little plastic cutting board for his mouse pad. So it was just a crazy moment for him.
Cutting them up, man.
Yeah, cutting them up.
So that's crazy. I remember seeing the pictures on Twitter, which if you don't follow Twitter, twitter.com/Ferris Esports. And we do all the game updates. We have some player pictures and stuff in there every once in a while too. I know we just finished our headshots and stuff for League, so I'm excited to get all those out.
Yes.
And we're still trying to make a hype video, which we were supposed to record, and then we forgot, and then things piled up, and this weekend's been crazy.
We've been slowly stacking the teams, getting the team headshots and videos done, so all that kind of fun stuff. If you have cool clips of any action of any of our Ferris people, send them to us. DM me on Discord. Email esports@ferris.edu with all that information.
Or throw it in the match day clips.
Or in the Discord.
Yes.
Which is a great spot to put
Which is where I've been putting all the League ones.
Yes, good call.
We will compile them into a video at some point.
Yes, it's coming soon. But
soon TM.
Yes.
Like literally everything else. Soon TM. This is basically a 2-man operation. So if you're looking to help us out, there is a forum in the Esports Discord about helping out video editing, making graphics, running production, all of that stuff. Please, we're begging you. We need help.
Yes. We need all the help we can get. There's been a lot of cool things kind of behind the scenes happening, which we're very excited about. But, the more hands on deck we can get, the cooler things that we can crank out at a more consistent basis as well. So anything you want to help out with, anything that you feel like, hey, I want to practice my skills in something, we can make that happen for you. We can, just like, hey, I really want to draw. Well, we'll find something for you to work on that's related to us. That's drawing stuff.
Yeah.
So
do player profiles. You can do end game stuff like victory and hand drawn rather than computer generated and stuff. And all right. So we have the CS:GO team, which I know you kind of screwed up a little bit putting them in a higher division than they probably should have been.
Yes. So the way when I was told what their ranks were, I was given a sheet with all the individual player ranks. So CS, I'm not super familiar with. So I'm like, okay, cool.
The rank system's weird.
Yep. And I think that I don't remember. I think they gave me like acronyms and stuff as well. So I'm just like, okay, cool. There's so the numbers that they gave me, acronyms and numbers. I'm like, oh, this letter kind of lines up with this. Here's the tiers. So I put in all the ranks. We get placed into a division, and my players go, hey, our ranks on NACE are wrong. And I'm like, wait, what? And they're just like, oh, yeah, we didn't realize they were using this scale. We were using a different scale. It's all like 2 or 3 ranks higher. So they're having a rough season. I think they're 1-2 right now. I know they're 1-2 right now. So, but some of the matches haven't been super close, but I know they're excited to. They're practicing together. This is the first semester we put the team together right before the signups were done. So they're just excited to get out there playing. Spring semester should be a lot better for them this year. But they did take a game, or a series, I should say. So they're pretty excited about it. And one of the series one of the losses, oh my gosh, they went to map 3. And so they were way up in map 1, almost lost it. Up in map 2, did end up losing it. Way up in map 3, 15-6. All you need is 16, and they ended up fumbling into overtime. And then overtime 1 goes into overtime 2, and they lose it in overtime 2. So I know the players weren't too happy about that, but they were excited at the feeling of playing that far of a match, and it definitely gave them motivation. When you're up 15-6, you just assume like we'll win one of these, we'll win the game.
We're
we don't have to
flip one of these.
Do anything crazy, and nope, you gotta come in with a purpose into that round.
Yep.
So
finish games.
Yes.
Well, I tell League all the time, no trolling, finish games.
Yep. No matter how far ahead we are, you can blow a lead.
Yes, absolutely. Especially with League if they scale better. But yes.
So that team's excited for next semester. A great group of people. So I'm excited to have them out here. We've already got their headshots done, so we'll be cranking that stuff out as well. Yes. And then the last but not least, Rocket League 2-2 on the season so far. They actually got to play a LAN outside earlier in the semester, homecoming weekend, which was a blast. I know they had a ton of fun. It was a unique challenge, being outside. It rained at the beginning of the day, so we had to throw tarps over all the computers. That was at the Confluence Festival. Very cool event. Really, if they do it next year, there's a good chance that we show up again and do it. So it was cool helping, work with the people who put that together to kind of make that happen, make the tournament happen. Ferris was a major sponsor for the event. And so we're excited to kind of come out and do that again next year.
Yeah. No, the pitch was really cool. I know playing outside is definitely a different experience.
Yes, it was something they had definitely never done before.
Correct. Yeah, that's, like your parents tell you to go play outside and you move your entire computer outside, you go play outside, kind of things. So it's, the pitch was really cool. It seemed like everyone had a lot of fun.
Yes.
So I would love to do something like that for League, but our games are like 3 hours long.
Yes.
So sitting outside for like 3 hours, that's too much sunlight.
It was a best of 5 series, which is easy for Rocket League, but single elim tournament, it still took a good portion of the day. There was it was 4 teams for the college, 4 teams for the high school, in between like changing people off, switching up the setups.
Mm-hmm.
It took a long time for those tournaments to happen. So
yeah, any best of 5s, even if the games are like 2 or 3 minutes long, is like you're looking at.
Most of the time was honestly just like switching the setups out, or not the setups, but just like having the players log up, getting the players on stage, getting them ready, because there was no warm up space that wasn't like laptops, and so they were like warming up on stage, and there was a lot of other stuff going on with the festival as well. So, like, big robot parade, they like drove a bunch of robots around, which was pretty cool. Stuff like that. But I know this team, I had beat ups with this team not too long ago. They're mostly young guys. So they're pretty excited to kind of continue to grow and play together as a team.
Absolutely. That's what I'm really looking forward to the most, is that we're getting a lot of like really good young players.
Yes.
And just like, I can't wait to see what you do in 2 years. Like, yay, senior year, this is like, national championship worthy, yay.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's I'm looking forward to it, especially with Valorant, with how young they
It's
are.
going to be crazy.
Yeah. So actually working with a really good coach from what I can tell.
Yep.
And yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, 100%. But yeah, that's kind of how the mid-season's been going for all of our teams. We're excited to finish out strong. Plenty of our teams actually poised to get into the playoffs. I know Overwatch is pretty dead set on making the playoffs. Call of Duty, they're still in control of their destiny to make the playoffs. If they lose this next game, then it comes down to it's out of their hands. But they lost the tiebreaker to Lebanon. So we don't know if the tiebreaker is, or they lost the head-to-head. So we're not sure if the tiebreaker is head-to-head or map differential. I'm pretty sure it's head-to-head. Yeah. That's how I would do it. But also I haven't seen their rules. It doesn't
mean anything. Come on now.
That's true. This one makes the most sense in my mind. Again, my mind is an enigma. So who knows? But so I'm just like, hey, doesn't matter what the other people do. We win this game, we go in. So it's against one of the the toughest team, Minnesota Mankato, in the division. So they're excited to kind of get out there, get swinging at that as well.
Yeah.
So.
I know League, we have to win at least one of our next 2. I think the 2 teams we play are like first and second right now, and we're like tied for second. It's just like we kind of got to win both of these. I know the one team hasn't lost yet. So
they haven't played us yet, though. That's
haven't
the problem.
played us yet, or the team that was smurfing. So they also have a really tough week too.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm not. We're still playing CeeLo at the end of the year. It's like this isn't like the end of our season. But,
correct. Yeah. All of our teams will play next semester as well.
Yeah. So I'm kind of if we win, awesome. Go to playoffs, great. If we don't, we have CeeLo still, which is like the main tournament that everyone plays in every year. Yep. So.
Yep. Valorant also just started in CVAL as well. They won the first CVAL game too. I forgot about that. So this record we were talking about earlier, 3-2 for Valorant, is their NECC Valorant record, and they're also in CVAL too, which is super fun.
Yes. I don't think their game yesterday.
Yes, Saturday.
Okay.
No, wait, it was yesterday.
Yeah, because I remember we were supposed to do
it's
Valorant Pugs.
Supposed to
they
be
were playing
Saturdays, but I think they punted it back.
Okay.
I think because it was the St. Xavier Academy team, so Lamar might have had his teams play, like their actual A team play on this Saturday, and then their B team play on Sunday. So.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, we were supposed to do in-house like pug games, and the Valorant.
The pug games did happen.
Yeah, I know. It happened a little bit later.
Yeah, the e-board comes to me like, we want to do Valorant pugs. I'm like, okay, typical time's 4:00 p.m. They're cool. Post the announcement, and the Valorant team's like, oh, by the way, we reschedule our match to that time. It's like,
so our A team just wasn't there, and we had the B team playing with a bunch of a couple league players were playing too, and they invited me. I just don't have Valorant installed.
A team ended up as soon as they finished their game, they hopped into pugs.
Yeah.
But again, I've played in pugs where. It's a lot of fun for the random casual people when the A team's not there.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
we can play. Yay! We don't.
And then the A team shows up, and you're like, "Why are you sweating?" But
no, they're having fun. They're not even trying. That's just how much better they are than you.
Yep. We did that with Overwatch Pugs not too long ago. We did a show match between the old Crimson roster and this year's Crimson roster, which was a blast. So Toby was on both of those rosters, but since Toby and I split time on the previous roster, I was like, I'm making a decision.
So you put him on the losing team, you put yourself on the winning team. Typical coach.
Well, no, so I haven't played on this team, and he has. So when it comes to tiebreaker, of course.
Yeah.
But no, both teams weren't playing with their full exact roster, so all that kind of stuff. And that team back then, we could still continue to play and get better. So this team has plenty of opportunities to grind it out, get better, all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm looking forward to work with them and head into. We're poised for that team to be pretty solid in Bandwidth Bowl as well. I have to. We scrimmed against Michigan Tech for our pre-game matchup on Thursday.
No.
So I have to talk with the players to see how that went. I haven't been able to reconvene with them since then. But I think they're going to be the toughest other Michigan school because we already beat Kettering's team.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they were in our actual Overwatch matchup. I could be wrong. But yeah, that Lawrence Tech team, I guess, they're undefeated. We're coming up then. That might be one of our challenging matches too. But this Overwatch, we have a couple teams points to do pretty well in the Bandwidth Bowl this year.
So for Bandwidth Bowl, for League, it's whoever shows up. If Michigan State show up, they just win. If they're not there, it's kind of a coin flip. I mean, Oakland is talking about coming this year since they haven't been before.
Yeah.
And it's like the one major Michigan school that hasn't gone. Like Wayne State's been there, Eastern's been there, Western's been there, Tech. So even like Cleary's showing up. So it's one of those things where like Oakland's like the last Michigan school that hasn't showed up.
Northwood hasn't showed up yet either.
Well,
but
yeah, thank you. I think that we could probably beat the.
They were planning on showing up one year, or at least their Juster Rock League was planning on showing up, but there was a cash prize tournament that popped up the same day, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go get some money."
Yeah,
we're
gonna
like,
go
understandable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no. It all kind of depends on who shows up for League, because like League's the League team's really good this year. Is it U of M good? No, not even close. But like we're good enough to like challenge GVSU and play all the other teams really close.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Michigan shows up, they just win. If State shows up, they kind of just win usually too.
Yeah. I mean, with schools with that type of population, so they typically don't. They only send their league teams, both of those schools in the past. So.
Well, no, Michigan State did their CS:GO team 1 year too.
CS:GO as well. Yep.
Yeah.
We're trying to get pretty much everybody to send all of their teams this year. So I'm setting a date here shortly, so we have a lot of time in advance to kind of make that stuff happen and let everybody know.
Please send your teams.
Yes. We want it to be as tough as possible. We want all this year's poised to be, especially with Cleary's programs getting booted or getting into the loop with a lot of the Michigan schools, with Nathan being over there. Like, it's gonna be awesome to get a lot of these teams brought back in. I want to get Siena Heights this year. I'll have to talk to their director.
Which they usually put in a league team.
Yep. In the past, so we were good friends with our Overwatch team back when I was on the team because we met at a LAN and we're like, oh, this is awesome. You guys are so cool. So.
Yeah. Are we doing in-person finals this year or no?
Not this year.
Okay. I know we keep talking about it. Every year we're like, next year. And they're like,
well, we have the new building next year.
Next year we have the new building for it.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the original plan. Is once we get the new building, we'll do the in-person. I kind of want to do semis and finals so we can get 4 teams out for each game. Okay. But then the scheduling gets weird because that's not a weekend. That's like multiple weekends, and then some schools have quite a bit of drive, so do they come back-to-back weekends? There's a lot of stuff we have to talk about there, but
you mean you'd have literally all of the games playing on stage Saturday or Sunday for semifinals and finals? Because like you can do each individual game like Saturday and then Sunday and make it a weekend.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
But they start playing on Saturday too, so like the entire team would just have to go out here.
So if we were gonna do in person, what we do is the weekend before. We would run the whole brackets.
Okay.
And then the next weekend would be the travel weekend.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then it would be semis on Saturdays and finals on Sunday.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
that would just me. That's
a lot. I know there's a lot of commitment from some teams to bring whole teams out, stay in hotels, and all that kind of stuff too. So
that's just it's currently we're shooting this in the morning. It still isn't even noon yet, and I'm just like I can't function.
We're literally 65 seconds away from noon.
No. In 65 seconds, I'll be more coherent. Don't worry, I don't do mornings. I'm not a morning person.
I understand.
Yeah, no. So I'm looking forward to Bandwidth Bowl as always.
Yes. Gonna be our biggest and best year this year. Lots of good production. So.
Yep.
But
awesome.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to stay up to date with all of our actions, happenings, all kinds of fun content, make sure to follow us on Twitter and hop on the Discord. That's where we post most of our stuff. If you check out the YouTube, which is where you're going to be seeing this, we've got all of our past matches and all of our videos and content as well. So we're looking for people to help organize this stuff. I just kind of dump stuff on there because that's all I have time for. We're looking for people to manage it, get some playlists running with stuff, categories, all that kind of fun stuff as well. So.
And all of that is Ferris Esports on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
Ferris Esports. I believe in coherent branding.
Yes.
I don't like having my Twitter handle's a little bit different from my Instagram handle. No. Same across everywhere. So we're Ferris Esports on anything. That's where we are. Thank you for tuning in, and see you guys around.